Today's lesson is the standard deviation. Last week we calculated the arithmetic mean for grouped data. Today we are going to calculate the standard deviation, SD. The symbol is SD, capital S, capital D, SD for grouped data. By the standard deviation, we can know how far a particular mark is deviated from the arithmetic mean. I'll explain all these definitions later, right? For the time being, we learn how to calculate these values. Now for the standard deviation for grouped data, with classes, data with classes. So we are going to use this formula. Now listen the way I say this. SD equals I into square root of summation FD squared divided by N minus summation FD divided by N whole thing squared. Right? I'll say these terms. Square root of this one. Square root of vargamoola. Now this one, right, the full thing. The whole thing we have to square. Whole thing squared. Whole thing squared. Once again, SD equals I into square root of summation FD squared divided by N minus summation FD divided by N whole thing squared. Don't get scared of this formula. It's not difficult. Only thing is you must know how to calculate the square root value, right? That is O-level maths. So once again, what is this part? The square root of whole thing squared. You must know how to say the formula you use. Right. Now, once again, we'll check what we know in this formula. To calculate standard deviation, I means the class size. Do we know that? Yes, already we have calculated. Right? In this example, right, I class size, here it's 5. That is this I, just like in the arithmetic mean. Summation FD squared. Do we know this part? No. We have to calculate this one, question mark. N means what? Summation F, the total number of students. It's 50. So N we know. Here also N we know. Summation FD. Do we know that? Yes, here that day we calculated summation FD. Here it's 35. So we know that. We know how to calculate summation FD. And we have to divide these two, and then we'll have to get square the whole thing. Right? So what do we don't know? We don't know summation FD squared. Right? That's what we'll have to calculate today. Now we'll take a simple example like this. It's the same example. Okay? Right. Now FD. You know this FD. What is that? FD. F into D. Here F into D, FD. 1 into 6, 6. 2 into 5, 10. Now FD squared. The correct method is F multiplied by, within brackets, D multiplied by D. Right? This is the D column. We have to multiply this thing. That's what FD squared. Right? Don't worry about this. There's an easy technique I'll teach you that technique later. This is the most correct method, but we are not going to use this method, right? But I have to explain this. Now how to get FD squared? F column we know. We know this D column, right? So correct way is first we'll have to square these two. D is there, so we have to have a D squared column. How to say this? D squared, right? Squared. So this is the D column. You have to double it, right? Square it. Varga karandu. 6 into 6, 36. 5 into 5, 25. 4 into 4, 16. 3 into 3, 9. 2 into 2, 4. Likewise, that's the D squared. We don't need D squared, we need FD squared. So, we have D column here, D squared column here, we have F column here. So, what do we have to do? We have to multiply these two. FD squared, right? 1 into 36, that is our D squared column. FD squared. 1 into 36, 36. 2 into 25, 50. 4 into 16, 34, 32, 64. 6 into 9, 54. 6 into 4, 24. So when we get the total of this one, we get the FD squared column, right? This is the correct way, but we are not going to use this because, see, it's a little bit confusing. You have to, now we all, up to here we know, right? So to get this one, once again you have to go to this column and square it. Then you will have to take this column and this column to multiply. Sometimes you might make mistakes because of this arrangement of the columns, right? So I'll teach you this is the most correct way, but I'll teach you one shortcut. You can use it at the exam, right? You will get the same answer. I'll show it. Now this is our usual problem, right? The common problem. Now we have FD. Up to here we know we use this summation FD for arithmetic mean also, right? Now we'll calculate FD squared. The easiest method is, now here we have D, here we have FD. We can multiply these two columns. They are next to this, right? So we can get FD squared, right? Now we will multiply, keep your finger here, right? Here, next to this one. Then it's easy. 6 into 6, 36. 5 into 10, 50. Next one, 36, 50. 4 into 16, 64. 3 into 18, 54. 2 into 12, 24. 1 into 7, 7. 0. Here you don't, actually when we square these things, we can get rid of the minus values, right? A first paper question. By squaring the D column, we can get rid of minus values because we have to find the square root value. We can't find the square root value for minus digits, right? Minus values. 1 into 5 minus 1 into minus 5 plus 5. Then 2 minus 2 into minus 12, it's plus 24. 3 into 9, 27. 4 into 8, 32. Right? So we can get the summation value. We can get at the total. It is 323. That is our, what is this? Summation FD squared. That's all. It's easy. Now we'll check, compare these two values. Here these are the same, right? 1, 6. Here 1, 6, 2, 5, 4, 4. Same FD. See, you get the same FD squared. I have given here 36, 36, 50, 50, 64, 64, 54, 50. 24, likewise it goes on, right? You get the same FD squared. You don't have to use this method, right? Here, by multiplying these two values, these, right, it will little bit confusing. All you have to do here is multiply these two. It's better to keep your finger here. Then you won't make 16 to 0. Then 5 into 10, 50, likewise, right? The next thing is, now we know the summation FD squared, that is 323. So we can apply all the values here. Now we'll apply these values into this formula. Equation mark I. We know the class size is 5. Here, put 5 here. Square root of summation FD squared. Here, summation FD squared. Now we know that here summation FD squared is 323. 323 divided by n. N means summation F, number of students, 50. Then put brackets. This bracketing is very important. Minus, don't forget about this minus value, right? Open brackets. Summation FD. Where summation FD here? 35. 35 divided by n. Once again, n means summation F, 50. It's same here, right? 50, 50. Close the brackets and put this square. Whole thing squared, right? Square root of 323 divided by 50 minus 35 divided by 50 whole thing squared. This 5 is there, right? Now we'll do the calculation. Put this 5 here. Square root of, we'll have to do all the calculations here. 323 divided by 50. Now see, if 5 students, you know how to do this. For C8 students, I'll send you the calculations, right, through Edmodo, these problems. 323 divided by 50. In these 3 we don't find any 50s. In 32 no 50s. In 323 we find 6 50s, right? So that is 0, 30, 300, 3, 2. Now we put the decimal point here. Then this 0 we bring it down. In 230 we can find 50s, so that is 230. We put another 0 here and bring it down. 300. In this 300 we can find 6 50s, so it is 300. So our answer is 6.46. Here we'll put 6.46. 6 minus, now here 35 divided by 50, so it's 7, here it's 10. That means 0.7 squared. Right? 7 divided by 10 means 0.7 and squared. So once again write this one. 5 into 6.46 minus, what is this value? Now we'll have to calculate this one. 0.7 multiplied by 0.7, that is squared. 7 into 7, 49. There are 2 decimal places, so 1, 2. Put this one and here. 0.49. Here 0.49. Put the brackets. 49. Put the brackets. Now what's the next thing that we'll have to do? We have to do this part. 5 square root of. Deduct this from this one, that will be 5.97. Right? If you don't know how to calculate the square root value, you can stop at this place, right? At this step. You will lose 1 mark because you have not provided the correct answer, the final answer. Up to here you will get 3 marks, right? You will lose 1 mark for the correct answer. You can stop at here if you don't know how to find the square root value. But it's better to learn it because there are many techniques to do. If you go through the YouTube, you can find easy techniques to do this one. If not, you can use the log tables, right? You will be provided with log tables at the exam. I am not going to teach how to find the square root value. All these are O-level maths. Now here 5 into, now the square root value for this one is 2.443 something, right? Goes on. So it's better to have 2 decimal places. For that you need to get the 3rd decimal also and round it up. Here this one is below 3. So we don't have to add. So the answer is 5 into 2.44, right? 2 decimal places. Now you can do the calculation here. 5 into 2.44, that is 12.20. 12.20. That is our standard deviation. 12.20. All right. So here, this is the calculation. First, you will have to do the brackets. Put the brackets correctly, right? Don't do any mistakes. And finally, you will have to get, this is 5, right? Not S. 5. So get 2 decimal places and do the problems. Right, I'll be asking you in Edmodo what 102 FD squared values and summation FD squared and up to here this value. I will write 5 into square root of blank. So you will have to put this value and then the final answer 12 point or the final standard deviation. Always take things into 2 decimals, okay? Even this.